Rachel, where I'm standing, the entire road is flooded. Check this out. The water is halfway up my legs, and as you continue to go down the street, the water gets deeper. Andrea's a startling sight. Exposed skeletal remains inside of this broken burial vault. You can see the grave is falling apart, and you can see everything inside of it. It's a sad situation. Homeowners just replaced their windows after someone threw a brick shattering their glass, and now their home is completely gone.
We got heavy smoke coming from side A, inside B, side C, inside D.
A homeowner's worst nightmare, receiving a phone call that her house was up in flames.
We've lost everything I've had is gone. Everything.
This tragic situation comes just days after her home was vandalized for the 4th time when someone threw a brick into a window. Tatamika Graves has been crying out for help, trying to catch the vandals who have been terrorizing her family. In fear this would happen, around 10:15 this morning, Saraland fire crews were dispatched to her home on Forest Avenue. She says the flames could be seen from the interstate. The home is a complete loss, and the family has lost everything. Graves received an alert on her phone just moments before the fire.
It did trigger saying that the back door alarm went off, a motion on the back door. So if they came in the house, they had to come through the back door, which means they had to come through somebody else's yard, if that was the case, because that's the trigger that went off first.
Family members say they received threats via text message stating this nightmare would happen.
I don't know if somebody been here to, to burn it up. There was a text message that said we would burn your house down last week. So I'm praying, somebody wasn't that stupid to come and try to burn the house down, because they don't know if anybody would have been in the house at that time.
Luckily, no one was home during the fire, and they say they are thankful to be alive. CaNisha Lacey, NBC 15 News. An 18-year-old who has been working at this Zaxby's for 2 years was recently told she had to dye her red hair back black and remove the braids from her hair. It's something that didn't sit well with her family.
I feel like it's a discrimination against my daughter.
I just feel it's not fair. I've been had red hair ever since November. So it shouldn't be an issue. November of last year.
Tierra Fleeton loved her job at Zaxby's until now.
The general manager asked me, how long is it going to take you to get your hair out? I said, what do you mean by that? She said, if you don't have your hair back black or have the braids taken out, that I will remove you from the schedule. I was like, well, doesn't make sense.
They said that it didn't, quote, fit their company.
Fleeton says she's disappointed, and her mother, Yolanda Singleton, wants answers.
It's not right, and it needs to be stopped.
We reached out to Zaxby's corporate office asking if there's a corporate hair and dress policy. Corporate told us any such policy is determined by each individual franchise owner. The 18-year-old says this isn't the first time she's been told her red hair didn't fit the company. This summer, she ran into some problems.
I spoke to the general manager at that time, and he assured me that he didn't have a problem with my hair, but the owner did. And my mom called her November the 2nd and spoke to her about it. She assured my mom that I was okay, wasn't nothing wrong, I wasn't going to lose my job over my hair color. But now it's a different story now.
Joanna Davis is the franchise owner of the Schillinger Zaxby. She did not want to give an on-camera interview, but a written statement called it a misunderstanding. She told us late this afternoon, we welcome team members to express themselves and celebrate their individuality, including wearing braided hairstyles. The braids are not an issue, and we're going to work to ensure that our managers and team members clearly understand our uniform policy. CaNisha Lacey, NBC 15 News.
He wouldn't have made it out if somebody hadn't been there.
Roger Weissnett brushed to the Weavers' help after seeing their house up in flames. He soon learned an elderly man on hospice was trapped inside.
The house and into the hallway, and I heard him yelling. So told him just keep yelling at me, and I was able to locate his hand because I wasn't able to see, but I felt his hand when I grabbed his hand. I just went to going out the same way I come in.
The blazing fire spread quickly through the house.
Couldn't see. When I turned into the hallway, I couldn't see anything. I couldn't even see my own hands.
He says he couldn't take a breath without inhaling smoke, and time was winding down.
When I went in there, I wasn't sure. There was a second, I wasn't sure if I was coming out.
Weissnett risked his own life.
There was no thought of what might happen to me.
Something he says is second nature. The family tragically lost everything they owned in the fire, 5 pets including, but they say thanks to Roger Weissnett, they still have each other.
He's definitely a hero.
I'm proud that I was able to be there for them and do what I done, and that they still got their family member.
And the Weavers want him to know how much his selfless act means to them.
Thank you. Thank you so much, because he did save a life.
CaNisha Lacey, NBC 15 News.
A chance for you to meet Mobile's finest over a cup of coffee. Today is National Coffee with a Cop Day. The Mobile Police Department invites you out to meet with officers and share ideas about safety in our community. The University of Mobile giving back in a big way today. Students and staff spreading out across Mobile and Baldwin County to volunteer in your communities. Projects serve as the annual day of service. Each academic department chooses a service project that's meaningful to them. Today, more than 1,000 volunteers will help out at more than 60 locations. Also happening today, a beloved Mobile educator and member, 71-year-old Charlotte Skoda, was killed in a head-on collision during a police chase. It happened earlier this week while driving to work. This evening from 5 to 8, the family welcoming guests to honor Miss Skoda at Life Church in Mobile. She spent decades at Faith Academy as their teacher, principal, and bookkeeper. Miss Skoda even overcame breast cancer. Her funeral set for Saturday. A manhunt is on in Baldwin County for a drug suspect. This video from the search area along I-65 north of Babinette overnight. Baldwin County Sheriff Office says a deputy found a felony amount of drugs during a traffic stop Tuesday. The driver involved ran away. Law enforcement officers focusing their search along I-65 near Raven Road, that's exit 37. At this hour, deputies not releasing any further information about the drug suspect. Emmanuel Malcopine is due in court later today. Malcopine accused of shooting 3 workers at Mobile Chevron Station in July. Police says Malcopine shot all 3 employees in the head. He was arrested last month in Dixon Mills, Alabama, about 2 hours away. His attorney has said Malcopine will plead not guilty. Thank you for tuning in. I'm CaNisha Lacey, NBC 15 News.